Hello everybody, welcome to today's, what do we call this? Banter Blitz. Banter Blitz with Jan Gustafsson. Jan Gustafsson, who likes to refer to himself in the third person, is currently watching the final stages of Banter Blitz with Luke Van Vele, my warm-up act, lead-in, mentor. No, that doesn't really fit with warm-up act, lead-in. Anyway, I'm watching Luke's show. I challenged him. I'm hoping that the first game will be him humiliating me in front of millions of viewers. Because I know, and I have all the research on it, that lots of people, millions of people are watching the show. And many people agree with me. The problem is, since I'm waiting for Luke, who's still playing, I feel bad accepting another challenge. So that would mean me talking to you people without playing chess for, like, I guess Luke's game is still going to go 2.5 minutes maybe. And that's a thing I'm just not comfortable doing. Sitting here, drinking coffee. Oh no, the game is over. Let's see if he takes me. So this is what it feels like when you're challenged for a Banter Blitz and you're afraid to get humiliated by a strong, or in my case, not so strong but very arrogant grandmaster. But no, he accepted somebody else. He went with Die Crowd. Or D Crowd. It's like on these Simpsons episodes where Sideshow Bob has a tattoo that says Die Bart Die, but then he explains to the fats that it's German for D Bart D, therefore it's fine. So I don't know if it's D Crowd or Die Crowd. Speaking of the Simpsons, Magnus Carlsen, the world chess champion, is on the latest Simpsons episode, giving Homer a bit of a pep talk. If you haven't seen it, check that out. That kid is going places, that Carlsen dude. Like, to be on The Simpsons is a big deal. I can't say I'm watching The Simpsons regularly anymore, but who didn't grow up with it? I was very impressed. Anyway, I must play some chess since... Ooh, see, this is what I'm getting while I'm watching Luke. Maybe we can just commentate on Luke commentating. C3 Sicilian, knight a6 is a trendy theoretical move. You're intending to go knight to c5 or knight to b4, reaching a pleasant endgame. I believe there is an old game, Mamadjaro Van Vele. Nah, I should play myself, right? It's Banter Blitz. The idea is to give all you people the chance to play a chess grandmaster, and currently you have the chance to play 2 chess grandmasters at a time. I'll start playing a strong player just so I can lose the first game and get annoyed and have an excuse to be snarky and condescending the rest of the way. Because if I start right off the bat being a jerk, I don't even have a reason for it. It's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to get away with. So we need an excuse. And losing to the London system would be as good an excuse as any. All of this is theory. Bishop e7 I've recommended in some of my videos or my many talks on chess. Bishop b5 is a line that Magnus Carlsen played 3 times in the Rapid World Championship. Bishop e7 does look ridiculous, but does threaten knight to h5, and it makes it kind of hard for white to justify his setup, or so I thought. Now that I played it, I'm thinking what happens after bishop c6. The point is bc6, knight to e5, looks a bit awkward. Well, he didn't go there. So now I can just grab the bishop and get on with life. Looks like, at the very least, I equalize. I have the 2 bishops. And there's nothing particularly scary about white's position, really. I'm not sure if I'm better because my bishop pair is kind of passive. Well, white only has decent pieces left for the structure once he puts his bishop to d3. But it's hard to believe that I'm worse. Oh, it's a 3-minute game? I always fall for this. Nowadays I always say, let's play 5 minutes, you people. Because 3 minutes, there's so little time to talk. And I do enjoy my talking. But you evil strong players, you enjoy challenging me to 3-minute games. Because your advantage is even bigger in a 3-minute game. Since I don't have much time to get all my witty banter in without losing on time. Anyway, let's do something. e4. I could take on e4 and then on d4 or on d4 directly. But I don't see any particular problem with going for this. Looks like I just have a good, what do they call this? IQP? Always sounds dirty to me to say IQP. I don't know, it feels filthy. IQP? But it just means isolated queen's pawn. So there's nothing particularly wrong with it. It's just the words. The best white can hope for, but the problem is this is kind of realistic, is that things peter out. But can't I just take here? You know how much I like taking pawns. I'm aware it's pinned and all that, but I can go e5 if I really have to. So I could not see a real drawback. e5, knight e2, is that what you want? I do have bishop d7, which could be a bit of a spanner in the works. Not sure you can say that, but it does attack the bishop on c4 and the queen on g4. I don't have the chat open to my show because I was watching Luki's show, so I have no idea if you dudes can see me, if you've already made mean comments about me wearing a tie. This is suit Jan. I felt like at least I had to outdress Luki. I don't know how these things work, but I did win the game, I believe. So that's great news. And I will use this little breaky break to try to bring up the chat. What else is new? I haven't even checked the news today. Normally now in these interesting times we live in, I always check the news. I don't have any news either. The news first thing in the morning, but I haven't done it today yet, so you never know what's going on. Design Jan has now more or less succeeded in opening the show, and I know this is why you're watching, to see me click on stuff. Has the show started? Question mark. Will I be attending Rechtes versus Linkes Altsofer? I don't know. When are those things? It's in Hamburg, so if I'm in town, might as well. But you know how it is when you're like, I don't want to say a superstar, but an extremely famous person. It's hard to attend these public events, like all the screaming groupies everywhere. It's not as pleasant as you people think it is. But seriously, I have no idea when it is, but if I'm in town, might as well stop by. Let's play another chess game. How's Luki doing? Did he finish? Did I accept somebody? Yeah, I think I did. Alfredo. I had some spaghetti Alfredo the other day. I'm a bit addicted to it. It's very unhealthy. This gorgonzola sauce. But I enjoy the spinach and like some real thick gorgonzola thingy in there. So I'm a fan, Alfredo. But it's not good for me. And I have the feeling playing you is the same thing. You're gonna drag me down to your level and then beat me with experience. Anyway, we do have a theoretical line. This g3, I often don't go c5 because I'm scared of meeting d5 and ending up in some weird Benoni structure. Well, Alfredo went knight f3 instead. In this position, d5 is one of many playable lines. I used to play this stuff, d5, bishop g2, e5, when I was a young man, so much younger than today. I had a game against Peter Heine in this line after knight f3, d4. I can't say which year it was, but I was trying to score a GM norm, so I must have been very young. Like 2002, 2003. I remember I lost the opening battle after knight f3, d4, castles, knight c6, e3. I went bishop c5, and I ended up in some trouble. But in the end, it was a draw. Nowadays, these crazy young kids, they play knight b3 or even knight c2. Knight f3, d4, that's the line we had. The tactical point is knight takes e5. There's queen a5 check. And you pick up the pawn. The pawn. Some nice shots of me watching myself on my little screen thingy there while drinking coffee. So I hope you enjoy it. Oh, and Alfredo was trying to figure out why can't I take? But you should have resisted your urges, Alfredo, which I know is a tough thing to do. Like my urges are normally to binge watch. What did I binge watch now? I was trying to prepare for the Bundesliga weekend. I watched 13 episodes of what's it called? One Day at a Time. Excellent sitcom on Netflix, by the way. I highly recommend it. It's a new version. It's not the 80s thingy. It's good. Well acted, touching stories, funny. Highly recommended. But yeah, I'm not sure that's the way I should have used that day at a time. Anyway, I played Bundesliga the weekend, won with white, drew with black, which would be good if I did not outrate my opponents. So I actually lost like 1 or 2 rating points again. I've done this 2 weekends in a row, win with white and then draw with black. The draw though was against a very talented young Dutch player, Lucas van Verreest, who I think also hangs out on this side. And he played well, so I can't be too mad, even though I have a feeling I missed some chances. I have not really checked the game yet. Oh, and we have another Grandmaster Challenger. How could I pass these up? Ah, but it's a 3-minute game again. Stop doing that, strong players. Please, let's play 5-minute games. That gives me a bit of a chance to talk. While now, I just have to sit here and make fast moves. It's not as fun for all of us. Good old boring Catalan. I'm playing my good old boring line, which I recommended in my video series. And let's see what the lunatic himself has in store. So far, he's following the main line, Queen c2, a6, Queen c4 or a4 are the main moves nowadays. Most champs play a4 here, as does lunatics. Bishop d7, Queen c4, Bishop c6, and Bishop g5 or Bishop f4 are the main moves. I'm not sure why he's taking so much time. Maybe he's trying to give me a fighting chance by taking some time while I'm doing banter, which would be friendly. But I doubt it. Normally people aren't friendly. Somehow people, maybe because I'm so full of myself, enjoy watching me suffer. Rook d1, this is a sideline that I normally forget to study. How does it go? You go here? I think it's something like this. Ah yeah, and takes an a5, and I can't remember details. Takes an a5 or takes, and what was it? And Bishop g5. How did this go? Queen b8, Rook b8. This looks naturalish. I know I sound facetious when I say I can't remember and then make theoretical moves, but it's nothing but the truth, my dear boys. Is this how it works? Can you do this? That's what the cool kids do. Now I am absolument out of book. What do I play? c5 looks logical. Queen d5 is a move, then knight c3. Not sure I've achieved anything much there. c5, queen c4, and I'm not quite sure what's going on. And we'll find out, I guess. Celebrities. What do they know? Do they know things? Let's find out. Oh, I honestly and literally, all these good words, did not see that d takes c5 was a legal move. I thought the rook on whatever this square is called is hanging. So that's just a tad embarrassing. Yeah, just gave him pawn. I have to find a way to create some counterplay as an excuse for it. And I should not lose on time, so things aren't looking great, to be honest with you. Even knight b4 is good for white now. Knight b4, queen a4, maybe I can fool around a little. But yeah, these 3-minute games, it's just too fast to do banter, which is my go-to excuse. Now what's going on? I can't go here, that much I can see. So what do I do? Am I losing material? That would be bad news. I do enjoy material. Looks like I'm not losing material yet, but I still have some long-term issues to work on. And I don't mean my social awkwardness, even though it is a topic for another day. But I mean like my back rank and the c7 pawn being weak, all that stuff. What is this? You thought all this through? Mr. Lunatics? I do not buy what you're selling. Knight c5, right? Ah, he wants bishop takes c7. What a wizard. Oof, I missed rook d8. That's just pathetic. Oh boy. Missed it. The game, for some reason, is still not over, but now I should be in trouble. And we get the exciting finale without talking, because no time to talk. What is this, a draw? Maybe it's a draw, maybe not. I don't really know. Looks kind of drawn. Yeah, messy game. I have a feeling I was in big trouble in Little Catalan at some point. Somewhere out of the opening. And yeah, once again, I probably have to watch my own video series because I can't remember the details. What I'm supposed to do after this a5. I recall there's some knight e8, knight d6 ideas, h6 is a move, queen b8. I don't know, interesting game, but yeah, in general, 3 minutes is just too fast against strong opponents, at least for an old man like me. Thanks for the game, Lunatics. Let's play Cuba 3-3-3. That's a different spelling than Cuba Gooding Jr. So, he's from the Czech Republic. Maybe it's his name. I don't know. Anyway, what should I play? Let's play a6. Target this bishop. Because mainly you play it for practical reasons. There is like a 0.01 chance the white pre-move castles, and then you can just go ab5. Okay, it's not that great of a chance, frankly. What do? I play this the Yurtayev system. I'll try to stick calling it the Yurtayev. I used to call it the Arkhangelsk, but Tkachyev, who was a student of Yurtayev, has many a time and rightly pointed out that Yurtayev really deserves credit for this system because he developed it without putting the bishop on b7, the modern interpretation. And I'll stick to that wording. All of this is theoreticalish. AB, knight a3, castles, knight b5, bishop g4. The drama continues. I think I did it in a previous Banter Blitz, right? Looks like none of this is a surprise to Cuba 3-3-3. What could the 3-3-3 stand for? h3. He does want me to pin him. I could have started with bishop g4 to stop that. I've never thought about this. Can I go ed? Of course, is my first greedy idea. But then cd, knight e4, bishop d5, probably lose material, even though these things, sometimes there's tricks. I'm not sure if I mixed up something. h6, no, maybe he can just take on b5. Maybe Cuba is just out preparing me left, right, and center. I have a feeling I mixed up something. Or I have a feeling I didn't know what to do. And as grandmasters like to say, I forgot or I mixed up something. We will never admit I didn't know this stuff. Because that would mean a gap in our chess knowledge, which is a lot more embarrassing to admit than, I couldn't remember stuff. Anyway, I had to play bishop b7 because there was a fork on c6 threatened. The good thing is he couldn't go f3, or I thought he couldn't because of c5 followed by c4 check. So he went bishop c2, and now hopefully I can get my pawn back. Because we all know what it's like when you're missing pawn. Not sure that's the wording I should have chosen. Queen g4 threatens the horse and the bishop h6. Yeah, it's a bit unpleasant. I don't like how this is going. I have a feeling I have to take the horse. The knight, in layman's terms. Takes on e4. Interesting. Can I do anything better than bishop e4? I guess not. Nah. And now we have what experts call an equal position. Equal pawns, equal everything. Some pundits might even call it a dullish situation. But not me. I thrive in dullness. I indulge in dullness. And I don't even know what indulge means. Just a good sounding word. Let's check the chat. Pramod NVS, what's the problem with knight f6? Can someone tell me? You have to be more specific, my dear boy. Do you mean on the first move, the second, the third? So many knight f6s out there. So little time. Rook e8, queen e8, takes, king h7, bishop e3. No, that's not really playing for a win, is it? Maybe this. Queen d5, rook d8, queen b3. Also not really getting us anywhere. Do I have any sensible move? Maybe there's just no sensible move to be made. Just sit here and lose on time while I'm contemplating my next move. Sing the Gabru is asking, Jan, do you play any major tournament? I do. I will play the major Bangkok Open. And don't get confused by the name. It's not actually in Bangkok. This year it's in Cham, I think it's called. Next to Hua Hin, which is where the Thai royal family takes their vacations. And they must know which places are nice. So I'm looking forward to that. That's in April. That's pretty much the major tournaments I play per year. Else I prefer talking about the major tournaments, because then people can't crush you. They can berate you for getting the games wrong or saying something offensive, but still less painful than losing a game of chess. And I might lose a game of chess to Kuba if I'm not careful. Or even worse, I could draw Kuba if I accepted his draw offer, but I shall do no such thing. I will use all fair and unfair means in my toolbox to somehow win this very dull 5 against 5 rook endgame. Because, as they say, every rook endgame is either drawn or lost or won. I will randomly provoke the king to go to c3, and then I'm gonna argue, but now it's very far away from the king's side, so it was all part of my master plan. It wasn't, I'm just making moves. Now, my plan is to go rook g6. He has to move this pawn, then go back to f6, and then, since the king is on c3, not on d3, he cannot defend the f3 pawn. See? That's grandmasterly. Planning 3 moves ahead, just like Magnus did with Homer. But I missed rook a2, or, well, b4 actually parried my threat. So, can't be too mad. Kuba 3-3-3 is playing super well. Super well? Is that too folksy? Bit too folksy, isn't it? Oh, he played super well. I don't know. Maybe you can say that. What's that, Kuba? I thought we had an agreement not to make any aggressive moves. Looks like no longer the case. Now b6, I might actually lose this if I keep doing what I'm doing. Now my king is already cut off. And the going got a little tougher. Stop offering me draws. I prefer losing. I will probably succeed too. Because if at first you don't succeed, then dust yourself off and try again. Rook g4. Yeah, I was wondering. Something's fishy. If I takes, am I losing that? Probably I am losing that. King d7, takes. King d4, king e6. Nah, Kuba's too strong. Yup, now I'm lost. Hang on, takes. Is that lost? Feels lost. So I'm gonna have to speed up and give the pawn, and my wishes of getting a losing position out of this will finally be heard. This also keeps playing perfectly, which makes my task so much tougher. Yup. Too fast, too furious. And I played terribly. In Kuba's defense, I did play terribly. But still not cool to play well. I don't like that. Well, why don't I at least go to b7? Okay, it doesn't change a thing. And yeah, after resign, got completely crushed by Mr. Kuba 333. Good game. 2005. Too strong. Maybe things will be tough in this Thailand Open. Let's play Killer Cat. Killer Cat, Killer Cat, Killer Cat, Cat. Oh no, that's Killer Cat. E4. Now I'm feeling aggressive. Jan, Sing the Gabru has so many questions. To become a good player, what percentage is inborn talent? In my case, it's like 98%. But that's because I never studied a thing and have only relied on my amazing intelligence to become a chess grandmaster. In many cases, it's more balanced. And seriously, I have no real clue in this nature versus nurture discussion. I did read a book called Talent is Overrated, so I think my position is closer to, yeah, just study stuff and you'll be good. I don't think there is such a big inborn talent factor, but I honestly don't know. And disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, so my opinion on this is not very valuable. Blim Blam the Claw Block is in the chat. I think I played Blim Blam the Claw Block because it was hard to ignore his name the other day. Says recipe to beat Jan. Get a rook endgame. I'm not sure. First of all, it's very hard to get a rook endgame against me. Secondly, I could have drawn that one had I wanted to. No, that's probably not true actually. And thirdly, I'm not sure that was the recipe in that game. Greg Holden, Jan, how long do you study each day? 0 hours, but I'm old and washed up and no longer a chess professional. Apart from that, I don't believe, if you ask serious chess players, I don't believe anybody sees it like I study 6 hours a day or I study 8 hours a day, because the lines are so blurry. Like when you're playing a tournament and you're preparing before that, is that studying? When you're at home watching whatever's going on, the Women's World Championship, is that studying? When you're on the subway reading a chess book, is that studying? I know people, maybe one or two now, but basically know people that sit at home with a chessboard studying chess for X amount of hours per day. And it goes a bit into this nature versus nurture discussion or this talent discussion. We don't really know when our brain is studying or how our brain is putting stuff together and when it isn't. So I always struggle with that definition. How many hours do you study or how many hours should I study? I don't think it works like that. I should probably study this position. But how? Well, maybe I can trick Killer Cat by pretending to blunder my knight. But then I'll go bishop f6 and say, ha ha, lol, tricked you. And win back my material with interest. I want to go bishop c5, but then I started getting very afraid about some b4 things. Tormapfer says Jan is down. He's depressed and have to work hard to win the next few games. No, I would disagree with that notion. I'm no more depressed than normally in the morning when I think about what have I done to deserve this, the usual Weltschmerz operation. What was I saying? Oh, I was pretending not to be depressed. Yeah, that never works, does it? I go through phases with like how serious I take the banter blitzing. Sometimes a loss will upset me greatly, but it also depends on the nature of the loss. Like, I'm not upset about the game I just lost, but sometimes it will throw me off balance, a big deal. Well, some other days I won't care that much. Here I'm wondering, why haven't I won yet against Killer Cat? I outrank Killer Cat. I almost double his rating, but he's hanging in there. But now I am increasing the pressure. It's not, not technically a smaller mate, but it would still have been a checkmate after this. Therefore, Killer Cat resigns. Which I wonder if he owns a cat that is a killer. Probably most cats are, even when it's only bird or mice. Speaking of animals, now that I live in the suburbs, we see all kinds of animals in our garden. I saw a fox the other day. I don't think I've ever seen a fox in Hamburg. There was a fox walking through our garden, minding his own business. Then he disappeared. First I was scared, but then I thought probably in a battle to the death I would defeat a fox. I wasn't sure, but he looked reasonably small. So I thought I should probably like my chances fighting a fox, and I was less scared. It is a topic I spent a lot of thought on because I still am dreaming of having my own television show called Farmageddon, where men does fight animals in a ring, and it would be like different rounds, but I'm not quite sure and the world is ready for it. Just as I'm not quite sure I'm ready to play against A2CQ. And if you are wondering what A2TCQ stands for, it means a tribe called Quest. I grew up with a tribe called Quest. Still one of my favorites, especially when it comes to background music. When you don't want anything particularly stressful, just some nice background music, try some old Tribe Called Quest. Anthology. Anthology is like the greatest hits things, but it's still my favorite. And the new album we got from here is excellent as well, so you might want to check that out. Or if you don't want to spend any monies, you might want to check out Q-Tips, or no, the whole tribe performance at this year's, which of these dumb awards was it? Emmys, Grammys? I always mix them up. I think it was the Grammys. So yeah, love the Tribe Called Quest, and of course very sad that Five Dog is no longer with us, and you could feel it on the new album that he's very much missed for their music as well. That's also inspiring for me that dudes I grew up listening to, who are now well in their 40s, are still extremely relevant, making nice music. And talking about all this, I have, as usual, ignored this game. I covered this line in my video series. My best guess is that I'm recommending knight bd7 here. But, as usual, I have forgotten everything I said in my video series, so I'm not sure at all. Is this some sort of drawn line? d5 now? Or did I mix something up? I think I might have forgotten to throw in bishop takes c3. As usual, we use forgotten in the Grandmaster circuits, not missed. Because we knew and then we forgot. Different story. But I have a feeling this is probably sort of a drawish thingy if I went king g7 here. It's a perpetual or whatnot. I don't want that, so I'll gamble and play bishop e7, which might or might not be a serious mistake. We'll find out. Rook d1. I thought I threatened queen c6, but I don't because of d5. Yeah? That is a pity. So I'm going to have to find a way to make it a threat. Maybe go f5. If he goes queen h6, some aggressive move. Then maybe queen c6. Or even then bishop f1 is possible. So might remain a pipe dream. Queen h6, I could think about bishop g2. Or queen h5, also bishop g2. Is that any good? Let's do it. Why all this thinking? Sometimes one should just blitz out moves, hope for the best, see what happens. Probably wasn't very good actually, which is a pity. But it's hard to resist flashy moves, right? That's gonna be the title of my autobiography. It's hard to resist flashy moves. The problem is that after queen c6 check, he has either knight d5 or bishop d5. Bishop d5, ed, queen f5. I don't really have anything. I'm probably slightly worse, if anything, which is a pity. There's nothing I can do about it. I have a feeling, objectively, it might have been best to just go queen g6 check and the end game, even though it'd be a pawn down after takes, and takes feels quite defendable. But I don't like giving up pawns, the usual story. Oh, is this another 3-minute game? Looks like time is very low already. Was this a 3-minute game? People, seriously, please challenge me to 5-minute games. Will be so much more fun for all of us, mainly me, because I have time to talk. And as usual, I'm much more concerned with my fun than with your fun, which is a bit the spirit of these very selfish times we're living in. I don't know about the position. Probably it's roughly equal, but now that I saw we have no time, my priority is once again shifting towards Flagistan. Flagville, Tennessee. But I did take a pawn, so I have an excuse for my flagging expedition. Took another pawn. And a tribe called Quest resigns. I don't think they were ever known for their chess skills. But thank you for the game. There's some discussion, didn't I stop? No, I did spot that this d5 was there, therefore after rook ft1. I did not go queen c6 because of d5, but played f5 first, right? Or what is we talking about? Anyway, let's play more chess games. A lot of strong challengers today. Margency, an international chess master. Mert Erdogdu, sorry if I mispronounced that. Feeling I played this guy long time ago, but I could be wrong. And he's doing all the trendy stuff, playing the Italian like the cool kids. Rook e1, is that what they do nowadays? I don't know stuff. I'll provoke bishop g5 and hope for the best, but he does not want to do that. All right, one more chance. Nope. One more chance. Okay, now it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, typical Italian moving back and forth. Probably, yeah, whatever. What is there to say? that you don't already know. Probably I should have removed my bishop at some point. I'll do it now, just to get rid of this constant headache of running into d4, d5 with tempo. It's always tempting to sacrifice a piece here. Normally it doesn't work, but let's have a little fun. Find out. Why am I just giving a piece, even if I know it doesn't work? And margin C does take me at my word, which is even more upsetting. I'm not very focused. I'm still not used to playing strong players. So let's focus. It's tough to focus. I'm done focusing. Back to making random moves. Oh, did I blunder? No, d5, that's bishop e3, right? Oof, but I better keep an eye on this bishop on a7, because loose pieces drop off, as we say. I have a feeling I'm sitting wrongly, but if I go here, then I'm moving out of the camera. Maybe I can move the screen. Can I do that? Can you guys see the screen? No? Not sure this helped. Okay, focus mode. d5. Bishop takes e3. I'm not losing material. That's great news. d5. Bishop takes e3. D takes e6. Bishop takes d2. E takes d7. I might be losing material. That'd be bad news. So I did blunder with rook a8, right? Oh, and he takes here. That's better. I get to take material instead of having to wonder if I get checkmated or not. No, I still have to wonder about that. But instead of losing material, I get to take material, which is much more up my alley. I have a feeling I need my queen to stop checkmatery over here. Because checkmatery, it's not a pleasant experience when it happens to you. Don't checkmate me, Mr. Margin C. See my focused face? This is the please don't checkmate me face. And don't we all go through please don't checkmate me faces once in a while? Queen g3, that's announcing that he's not intending to checkmate me anytime soon, which I appreciate. I have a feeling I should get out the way. D, E, D, E, knight, E5, there might be some trick somewhere, who knows. What am I supposed to do? Take, maybe? I feel like I should take this guy. Oh, but I blundered something again. I always blunder things. So sad. This is what I blundered. He can go rook takes d8 first. Doesn't have to blunder his queen. To one of the many mean tricks I had up my sleeve. Still the position, probably quite okay for me, between you and me, because I still have my extra piece and I got my pieces a little liberated with this action. Now there's some rook g8 inconveniences. And yeah, things are looking up. Knight g5, knight takes, and queen f4, knight h3 is a problem. hg, rook g5 also looks decent for me. So I can face the future with mild, very mild, because it's not in my nature to be anything but extremely mildly optimistic, but some very mild optimism. I have a feeling he's going to resign here, which would then make my mild optimism turn into slightly stronger optimism. I could be wrong. I could still get checkmated. You never know. It's hard to predict these things. Checkmates. But now I have a feeling I'm a favorite to not get checkmated, because I have all this counterplay against f2 as well, and therefore margin C resigns the bumpy game when I was still focusing on my nonsense talk. Somewhere here, playing rook a d8, leaving this bishop on a7 unattended. Tends to be a bad idea. d5, didn't this win material? I'm so bad at counting. So I have to count manually. Takes, takes, takes. And I have a feeling he's left with an extra piece. So that would have been a bit of a problem. Take that lesson to heart, kids. If you can sacrifice a piece for an unclear attack, or just grab a piece. Normally you want to grab it. Let's find another game. What about Iron Chess Maiden? What's Iron Maiden? That's like some metal group from the 80s or 90s? I think some kids I went to school with had Iron Maiden t-shirts. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Oops, I can't Google here. Where can I Google? Maybe here. Iron Maiden. We are playing a fake samish. I don't have a knight on c3 yet. So some people enjoy putting this other knight on c3. I'm not sure here after castles knight ec3. It leaves d4 a little weak, so I have a feeling plans with knight c6 are kind of good, but I'll still do it. Or maybe I'll start with this. This looks like it makes some sense. Keeping the option of putting either knight on c3. Might look strange to use this knight to put it on c3, but the thing in these samish positions is this knight on g1 is always awkwardly in the way. And if you can put it here, which is a decent square, and then get developed, there should be two castles, do whatever. Things tend to be alright, and this knight will find things to do, like be it via a3, c2, or d2. It does have its options. Rook c8 looks a little clumsy, if you ask me, but I'll just develop a bit. Now that there's no particular pressure on d4, since he went knight bd7. Not too much to worry about. a4 and tending a5 could be an idea. Also stopping b5 for good in this structure. Now the nice thing about this structure is that after e6, ed5, cd5, my knight will jump into c4, hopefully, which is a good little square. Anyway, I was looking up iron. I struggle pronouncing the word iron. Iron Maiden are a British heavy metal band formed in East London in 1975 by bassist and primary songwriter Steve Harris. Who knew? Well, probably a lot of people knew, and now I'm one of them. Iron Chess Maiden. Is an Iron Maiden also, is this like a medieval thing where they wore these belts to avoid unwelcome encounters? Is that a thing? I don't know stuff. The Iron Maiden's homepage. Iron Maiden merchandise. I don't know. Bruce Dickinson. Who's Bruce Dickinson? As for the game, yeah, I'm trying to create some play on the queen side. Not sure this is the side of the board where I should be playing. But it's more in my DNA than playing on the king side, which normal people would actually in this position. Here, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll probably win somehow. Go knight b3, knight a5, and hope for the best. Chastity belt. But if you're wearing a chastity belt, are you an Iron Maiden? That's the question I'm asking. So we would have to look up Iron Maiden chastity belt. Iron Maiden spiked chastity device upgraded version. Hot steel toys. Now, probably I should not use the office computer to go on hotsteeltoys.com. What will people think of me? And Iron Chess Maiden informs me that his username, at least, refers to Maggie Thatcher. Was she called Iron Maiden or Iron Lady? I don't know stuff. I'm not familiar with your references, British people. Probably that's why I call you British people. So pardon my ignorance, but thanks Iron Chess Maiden for pointing out. This on your profile pic? That's not Margaret Thatcher though, is it? In the meantime, I did manage to pick up a pawn, which I normally enjoy. He's trying to create some counterplay. I don't enjoy the counterpart bit, the counterplay bit. But my joy about being a pawn up is greater than my fear of his counterplay. Oh, and Iron Chess Maiden keeps informing me the band's name refers to Thatcher. Gotcha. So, did the Iron Maiden band members, were they dreaming of becoming the leader of Great Britain, and therefore they tried to put themselves in position as potential successors to the Iron Lady? Is that what you're telling me? Probably that's not exactly what he's telling me. But thanks, I honestly did not know any of these things. I did know that I wanted to fork things up for everybody. Because, you know, I enjoy forking. Feels forking great to do those things. Same old tired jokes. You know how it goes. Bishop b2. I should not have gone rook b1 because of bishop d4 check. But, you know, here I have some more pawns. How do I get this wrapped up? I don't really want to allow bishop e3 check. Not that it does anything, but it does annoy me. Which means it does do something, right? Karl Nering is saying Jan is perpetually in junior high. I wish I was. Don't we all learn that at the end of the day, that's the best time of life? Not that we don't have the concept of junior high. Ooh, I almost gave that check. In Germany. But most of these kids, they don't like going to school when they do. But then, with hindsight, best time of your life. You see your friends every day, you don't have any real responsibilities. Like, who cares how you do in these dumb little tests, right? You have an excuse to get drunk every weekend. Do you need an excuse to get drunk every weekend? I don't know, I quit drinking. Not completely, but I hardly ever drink. At a very early age, like at 19, 20. So maybe it's time to make a comeback. But I have a feeling my body got slightly less tolerant to it. It's like training, I'm being told. This drinking thing. And you can see by my awkward tone and looking away that I'm out of my depth when I talk about drinking. And see, when I moved the screen earlier to deal with this evil Grandmaster I was playing, I had the feeling I was messing up something. Is this the new Chess24 logo? I think we have a newish logo. And we have this wall, which I had built and paid for in this studio. Nah, I'm lying. It's a green screen. It's not a real wall. Maybe an idea for other people as well. Just use a green screen. Pretend you got a wall there. More chess. Hashtag stick to chess. Let's play against Monsieur Quentin Fontaine. Quentin Fontaine. Not related to Robert Fontaine or to Theodore Fontaine. I'm assuming. Maybe he's related to both of those. But I would not know. And he plays the Scottch. Or maybe he's just teasing and now he's going to play knight c3. And all the excitement will be gone. No, he takes. Oh, good old mainline Scottch. I always enjoy a good, not a good glass of Scotch because of the quit drinking conundrum, but a good mainline Scottch. What are you supposed to do here? G6, knight f3, is this like this trendy line? I wish I could remember stuff. I know it sounds facetious, and I don't mean to always sound so facetious, but I just can't remember. Do I give a check here? I think I'm supposed to give a check. But honestly, my memory is not the most reliable person. Is this a move? I think bishop g7 is the main line, right? And there was also some knight b6, but that normally ran into trouble. Oh boy, I can't remember a thing. I'm supposed to go here. Ah, yeah, that's this line. Yeah, this is slightly annoying, actually. Everybody knows stuff. It's so unfair when people know stuff, and I don't. Maybe I do know stuff. I don't want to show you guys the extent of my knowledge. It's a bit of both, but it's mainly me not remembering what to do. This endgame, I believe, is quite nice for white, if I recall correctly. But I don't have total recall. I don't know. I'm annoyed myself at my pretentious whining, pretending not to remember things. But this is not the position you want in the Scottch. Rule of thumb, you don't want an endgame in this stupid Scottch, because white is always better long term because of boring stuff like structure. You want to trick them short term, not allow them to get all their pieces out in one piece, literally. Because short term, white has his king in the center and he's doing all kinds of insane looking actions. But long term, white can sometimes be a little better. It's not dramatic. Rook d1, I don't know what to do. Rook f d8, rook b d8. Maybe this rook. But yeah, now that he got all his pieces out, he's probably a teeny tiny bit better. Not sure I could have gone d6, just simplify a bit, but I didn't. I had some point which now makes no sense anymore. Yeah, that was really bad. My point was, I thought about bishop b7 like a move before when I saw he couldn't go bishop e4 because of knight b4 check. And then I did it, but now obviously the bishop is covered on whatever the square is called. And he very much could go bishop e4, which renders my whole play a little pointless. Also, Quentin Fontaine is blitzing out moves like it was no one's business. Such a hurry, Mr. Quentin. Can I take something? I'd like to take something, but I guess I can't, yeah? Knight e5, bishop e7. Nope, not gonna be able to do it. So far, I'm well on my way to losing a model game. What white is dreaming of when he plays a Scottch. Better endgame. All of a sudden I have pawn weaknesses. He's blitzing out all these moves. And I'm just suffering. Knight d8, rook a7. Nah, no great. Not great. So I have to go here. Yeah, it's just sad. I'll just get crushed by Quentin, huh? Quentin. It's not even a glimmer of hope here because my position is so passive. Well, he can just improve his at will. Sad. Trying to at least pose some problems. I'm still in trouble, but arguably in less trouble than 1.5 moves ago. Because if my knight makes it to c6, at least my rook can go somewhere, and maybe there is some hope for the good cause. I'm not sure my cause is the good cause, but don't we all need to believe that? Bishop c3 looks strong, knight c6, knight d4. But I have a feeling he's not going to do that. I should not dare, Quentin. At least I got him to think. I thought he was just immune to ever having to think. Keep thinking, Quentin. Think about it. Weigh your options carefully. Spend another minute. The knight wants to go to c6. How can you stop it? Maybe h4. Maybe knight d4 here. Maybe king d3. Rook b8 or rook e8? Probably rook b8. At least my pieces can breathe now. Knight d2. What was that? Bishop e5, rook c6, bishop c3. Seems to kind of work, so I'll do that. Guess I gotta go back, yeah? Actually, I don't need king e7 just yet, so I might use the half move I have to activate my rook. And fortunes have turned. I'm not sure if I'm better, but I'm no longer lost, which is already big progress. He has to probably retreat. He doesn't though. I'll go after some pawns. But now he has rook a2. Ugh, that was bad again. Always, when I dig myself out of the hole I built, then greed gets me in trouble again. Apollo Greed. That should be my boxing name. Okay. Ugh, I have no idea what's going on here. 95 c6, yeah? Okay, I'll give it a check, then think. Feels like my position should be good now. It's good now. But how to win? b8. Didn't see that one coming. Probably a sensible idea. I have no way to verify if I was winning after rook takes or not. So I prefer not to take any chances there and instead to keep messing around. With all men on board. All eyes on me. Okay, now the odds are in my favor. Got lucky there when all the way it looked like a model game for this very line and for the Scottch in general by Mr. Quentin Fontaine, showing great theoretical knowledge, getting the slightly better endgame where I made some dumb moves, probably starting here. Maybe here, I should have gone bishop b7 or d6, you know, some normal moves. Got into big trouble. Dodged good old bullet there. It's a dumb expression, isn't it, to dodge a bullet? Oh, and speaking of Apollo Creed, I have a challenge by Balboa. And who can turn down? Good old Rocky. I did enjoy this Creed movie. I mean, but I thought it was a bit overhyped, really. Like, it is basically Rocky 1 with colors reversed. So to say this is like the greatest piece of fiction I have ever seen in my entire life, that narrative confused me a little bit because they're retelling the same old Rocky 1 story. Then again, people also enjoyed what's called The Force Awakens, which was basically the first Star Wars. So maybe that's just what we do these days, and we hope that not everybody's as old as me complaining, but you did the exact same thing 25 years ago. Bishop g5. Can you do that? I don't know. Probably you can. I'm so tempted to take as usual. Yeah, let's take. If he goes e4, I don't know what's happening. c5 or b5? b5, e5 looks dangerous. No, that looks too dangerous. I should throw in one h6 at least. Still scared. Bishop h4. Maybe dc4 was a little risky. Okay, bishop f6 is possible, but now we get some sort of normal position where the queen should not be ideal on c2. Even though it's not too bad either, but this looks kind of playable for me. But yeah, Rocky Balboa, just Balboa, getting in some punches early here. Yeah, shouldn't make any lame boxing references or plays on words like that. What do I do? Can I go here? I'll try. Rook d1. That feels kind of wrong. I think I should have castled and then after cd go wherever e2, b5, whatnot. Might still be possible, but including rook d1 and knight c6 does feel like it should be in my favor. Just as a haircut would be in my favor. But who has the time? Speaking of the time, I'm going to Madrid tomorrow to hang out with our Spanish friends, our Chess24 Spain department, the great Dibis, the great Pepe Cuenca. I think Nino Anton will be around, who finished second in the Gibraltar tournament, and I'm sure we'll do some very educational chess video content. There is the Chess24 birthday party on Friday, which day is it? 24th? Friday the 24th. So we'll do some shows from over there. Always fun to catch up with the Spanish guys, and I'll probably do some shows in Spanish. My Spanish is fairly terrible, but I enjoy speaking it. It's like, what's a good comparison? I don't know. My comparison game is really not on point. How can I win here? Knight d4? Is this winning? Queen c4 was close to winning, but I want more. Knight d4 cd. What are we discussing in the chat? Speaking of fighting and foxes, would you rather fight a Jan-sized fox or 10 fox-sized Jans? Normally the question involves horses and ducks, right? So I find it a bit uncomfortable that you brought me into this mess, blim blam. So let's think about it. Because normally the correct answer people think is to fight the 10 small things. Then again, there's been some research on the topic that if you fight the big thing, which traditionally is a horse-sized duck, that it won't be able to move because it's just misconstructed and it wouldn't be able to get off the ground. So the Jan-sized fox might just be an anatomical error, an abbreviation that would not be as scary in a fight as you would think. Also, it would only have my size, right? It wouldn't have my sizzling good looks or my smarts. So I would deal with a Jan-sized fox that still has fox-sized intelligence. And I know foxes are normally the smart guys like in the fairy tales, but I believe I could outsmart a fox. Because I read all these fairy tales. I only know the German titles. Fuchs, du hast die Gans gestohlen? That's a song, right? So what I'm saying is, I believe I would probably deal with the Jan-sized fox. Because the 10 fox-sized Jans, they might outfox me. So not a fan of that scenario. Why did I still not win this game, by the way? I feel like I've done everything to earn victory, but it has not happened yet. It's very disappointing. So queen a1 with queen c1, and the game kind of continues. Very, very sad. Bishop e4. Am I at least a bunch of pawns up? I should be. I deserve extra pawns. Now that I added an extra rook to my pawn achievements, I can rest with a clear conscience. Let's go through the challenger's lista. This dude looks like... Oh no, it's not a fox. But he does have... Is this? Oh no. How about Monsieur Robert Pizou? Robert Pizou? Robert Pizou? What do I do? c4 maybe? Whenever I play c4, I sit there anxiously, holding my breath, hoping they don't go e5. This stuff I'm very comfortable with. This is my game, or this is what happened in my Bundesliga game on the weekend as well. Now I'm not sure what to do anymore. Well, normally I play d4, but for variety's sake, let's play queen c2. It's just, you know, move ordering around to get black out of their comfort zone. Sometimes they want to develop this bishop early, but in this move order, where you've played e3 before you played d4, it's not so easy to go bishop f5, since queen b3 is normally creating some trouble. After queen c2, both e6 and g6 are perfectly fine. As far as I know, knight bd7, can't call it a mistake, but it limits black's options a bit, because often in these e6, d4 positions, black wants to push c5 very quickly. Still, this is of course very possible as well. And I'm not aware of any refutation. b3 is normally a common way to do this, arguing that a6 doesn't fit in so well with these b3 positions. Robert Pizou is trying to exchange some pieces early, or at least that's how I interpret his moves. Maybe he wants to go queen a5 and put even more pressure early. Or none of the above. And normally these things don't quite equalize because you're left with a not so impressive bishop on c8. I'm wondering what I want to do after castles, but I can probably just grab e4. So I guess he should take twice. But if we compare this with some normal Queen's Gambit declined, like this, whatever they call these lines, I don't know what they call those, then this is a good version for white. And letting my bishop live, of course, I will gladly accept that invitation. Now I'll work on kicking this knight out of e4, like knight e5, followed by f3 is high up my to-do list. It's a pleasant position for white, but of course a lot of chess still to be played. I'm wondering how ambitious I should get trying to cut off this knight from its home base if he goes, whatever, a4. If I should go c5 and trying to chase it down on the king side. I don't know, I'll think about it. But the most natural would be to just go f3 and keep grabbing space. Not sure. He goes c5, interesting. If I go f3. We'll find out. You know me, if I smell I can take a pawn, I will give up all my principles about two bishops, blah blah blah, gaining space pretty much instantly. And I did get my pawn. e3 is hanging. I could take, which looks nice, but I could also contemplate a move like either rook to e1. Rook e1, what is he gonna do? Probably queen e7 and cd. Yeah, looks all right. Wasn't sure which rook. I'm sure you could make a case for either, but it feels like this rook's natural home is on d1. That's why I took this one to e1. Now I'm gonna have to calculate after knight d5, which is unpleasant, but the reward might be a full point, which is nice. e4, he has knight b4. Maybe too early to think about cashing in. That's a pity. Don't we all love to cash in? But yeah, I can't make it work. Pity. I'll go here. If he takes, I hope e4 is going to win material. So I'm guessing he's not going to take. But then, you know, things still aren't so easy. This is a good move, though. Don't you hate it when they make good moves? e4 to cover the c5 pawn after takes. We do have opposite colored bishops, but I thought that I'm in time to activate my bishop greatly, which hopefully will tip the balance even further in my favor. But same old, still a bunch of chess to be played. Try to put this knight here just for good luck. Good luck, good measure. Little New York boy saying, Jan, you're getting soft in your old age. Less calculation, more action. What does that even mean? Isn't calculating chess normally the action-heavy chess? Well, the intuitive, boring Grandmaster style is the less calculation-heavy, no? I don't think you're making sense there, Liney. Liney B. Liney B? I don't even know. b5 I could take, or go knight b6. Both look good. But same principle still applies. If you give me a pawn or a good move, I'll normally go with the pawn. Initiative is temporary. Pawns are forever, as Kanye West used to say. a4 is mainly my sadistic side, not allowing him to free any of his business over here. And yeah, this is not a nice position for Robert Pizou. Therefore, he does resign, because there's just nothing to do. If you get all cute with bishop a4, I have b7 tricks. Yeah, that was an unpleasant situation he found himself in. Sad situation. Let's play Michi. Which Michi is that? Michi Beck? Hausmarke? Probably it's just some German guy called Michael, or Michi for short. Little New York boy says, just do things like the Joker. Yeah, the Joker is always pretending like to be this easygoing. Let's just do stuff and see where it leads. But he always has some elaborate plans, which someone must have thought through. Like I'll put this dude in this impossible situation and her in that impossible situation. You can only choose one. I'm not so sure he's just doing stuff. I think there's a lot of planning and calculating involved in Joker business. And it says Michi is disconnected, so I won't be able to play him, which is such a pity. Let's find somebody else for my last game, because this show is coming to an end. I don't know why I'm speaking with a very weird accent. But I do that sometimes. What about Quindarka? Quindarka from Malaysia? Wow. I've never been to Malaysia. Mainly because whenever I'm remotely in that part of the world, I just stick with Thailand these days. But I'd love to go. I've heard great things. Where is Malaysia on a map? Malaysia map. Kuala Lumpur. Gulf of Thailand, Ho Chi Minh City. I need a bigger map. I still don't know where I am. Alright, it's not that far. Where am I going? I'm going to Hua Hin. It's on this side. Ah, I'm next to Malaysia. When I'm playing the Thailand Open. Can you fly there or do you go by car? I don't know. But I'd love to go. I've heard great things about Malaysia. We'll see. Anyway, Quindarka. Is that how you say it? From Malaysia. Taking his time here. Singapore is also being recommended. Yeah, I'm not well traveled in Asia in general. And is that still Southeast Asia? Does Singapore still qualify? I've been to Vietnam, where we played a match Germany-Vietnam like 10 years ago maybe. And then we were stuck during this volcano eruption, this Icelandic thing. So I spent like 3 weeks in Vietnam, but we were mainly camped out in the hotel, so I can't say I'm a big expert. And I've played the Thailand Open every year since 2011. Love that tournament, and I will play this year as well. But there's so many places I've never been. I've never been to Indonesia, I've never been to the Philippines, never been to Malaysia. Lot of stuff yet to see. I've seen this position before after b6, but I forgot what to do. Where do they go? Bishop d3? I think they go bishop d3 because you're anticipating bishop b7 and you want to cover your d4 pawn in advance. A lot of places being recommended to me. Yeah, I gotta carve out some more time for traveling at some point. In general, big fan of Asia, so whenever I have time to go there, I will. Just need to find a good excuse. All of this still looks like standardish stuff, but queen f4, especially after queen e7, looks like it might be a little painful because I'm threatening rook c7. And he might not be in time to parry that. Knight c6, d5, takes, and then rook c7 is coming. People are saying, yeah, who needs to travel when you have Yanistan, which is a fair point, but first of all, Yanistan at this point, and I'm saying at this point, still a figure of my imagination. And secondly, once Yanistan is up and running, I still need to travel, if only to think about which countries I might want to overtake to expand the Yanistan Empire. So don't get me wrong, this is not a declaration of war just yet, but I'm not sure if I would be content just running Yanistan forever. And I need to add some disclaimers. I'm joking. Can I take here? Now my main worry is back rank mates, so if I can, I will go h4. Probably next move. ASAP Rocky. Because I really would not like these back rank mates. Queen a3 would bother me, but c1 is covered. So I'll just do it. places being recommended. Yeah, I'd love to go. All of those places. Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Japan. I've heard great things about Japan as well. I understand that's a different ballpark. But I'm very curious about anything over there. I haven't been there. And especially now that I have developed this very unhealthy terrace house addiction. I gotta go to Tokyo. I might even have to go to Hawaii. Which I'm not sure many people have said I might have to go to Hawaii. But my reason for having to go is because the new season of Terrace House is called Aloha State. It plays in Hawaii. So obviously I have to visit all the places where the Terrace House inhabitants go on their very exciting activities. Like, I don't know what they're doing normally. Yeah, let's grab lunch. It's gonna be all casual. Yeah, just the two others. Yeah, have it casual. Like, no big deal. I don't know. It's been disappointing so far, the season of Terrace House Aloha State. And I don't like being harsh on Terrace House because it's still my favorite thing in the whole wide world. But pick it up, Aloha State. There's only so much Japanese TV I can watch with subtitles if there's absolutely nothing happening. That's not true. I'll just keep watching forever. You guys do whatever you want. I was hoping this would not be perpetual, because Queen D1, King H2, H5 is covered. And then I might get to do some checking of my own. Queen G8, Queen G6, you know. Let's go with this one. And that brings us to the end of the road. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Thank you for not making any mean comments about my tie, because it's one of my favorite ties. It's the tie that Matt Damon wore in school ties. So I appreciate that greatly. Thanks for also watching the Luke Van Vele show. I'm hoping we can get Luke to do this more often. And then, yeah, the usual blah, 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 fake sorry, blah, blah, blah. See you guys next time. And that's it. Bye-bye.